What Lives in the Woods, Chapter 41. With panic in his eyes, Leo lowers one shoulder and says, "That's it. I'm going to break it down." Before I can even try to stop him, he barrels forward. Just before impact, the door flies wide, revealing my father's shocked face. He leaps out of the way, tugging the man beside him out of Leo's path. Apparently, my brother had too much steam going to stop, because he hurtles through the doorway and crashes straight into the wall. With a muffled harumph, he sinks to the ground. "Leo," Dad says, helping him up. "Are you okay?" My brother rubs his shoulder, nodding sheepishly. "I think so." Whirling around, I scan the area where the Annette-shaped shadow was. It's gone. The feeling is still there, though. Is still here, though. The horrible, icy feeling of dread. I turn back to the man standing beside Dad. He's got salt and peppered hair and a wrinkled up forehead. He's also got a very concerned look on his face. "What on earth is going on?" Dad asks, forcing a tone that's supposed to sound pleasant but totally doesn't. I'm not surprised. Mom did tell us not to disrupt his meeting. Will looks at me expectantly. I start to answer, then realize I have absolutely no good explanation for what just happened. I'm also still holding his hand. I drop it quickly. Will clears his throat nervously, then tries to lean back against the wall. Instead, he stumbles against the nightstand, catches himself, and folds his arms over his chest like none of it ever happened. Awkward. Dad looks unsettled. "I need answers, guys. We were just finishing up when we heard screaming up here." "Music, too," the man adds, a glimmer of curiosity in his eyes. Lifting the record, Will pulls a smile to his face. It's his bookstore smile, I think, the one he must give customers when he's trying to make them happy. "We found this old record, and I guess we just wanted to hear it. Sorry if we were too loud." Although my father's face stays blank, the man he's with tilts his head to the side, his expression a mixture of surprise and curiosity. "Well, well, well, look what you found. I'm impressed you kids know how to operate this thing." He gestures to the gramophone, which we most definitely did not know how to use. Yeah, took a little figuring out for sure," Will fibs. "Do you know anything about this? The song was interesting." By interesting, I assume he means creepy, because it was. "This isn't necessary, Robert," my father interrupts. "My daughter and her friends are very inquisitive, but we have other matters to attend to, so I know they'd be fine with researching the record on their own." He punctuates this last bit with a stern look in my direction. Yikes. "Nonsense," the man says, pulling my attention back to him. "I'm happy to answer questions. I've been a co-owner of Woodmore for many years, and despite everything that has happened, I'm still proud of this place." His comment sticks in my head. Despite everything that has happened. Is he acknowledging that Woodmore is haunted? Or maybe he's just talking about all the money they've lost? Either way, he seems willing to help, which we can't turn down. "Thank you." Leo edges closer, still rubbing at his shoulder. The man, Robert, smiles. It's warm and genuine. "Call me Robert, please." That record was part of the original owner's collection, Annette Dottinger. According to reports, she played it for hours, was even planning a big event in the ballroom based on it. That's why we leave it displayed on the gramophone. My ears prick up. "Wait, an event in the ballroom?" "Oh, yes, a very fancy one. We don't know all the details, of course, but J.B. Dottinger kept a ledger of upcoming events that is still in our collection. He had the date for the big event listed in there under the title Good Old Summertime. Was supposed to happen this very month, I think." Robert glances wistfully out the window. Unfortunately, poor Annette passed away before they could host it. I look at the record in Will's hand, wondering if we might have just uncovered why Annette's ghost has been playing that song. So the event was canceled? There's no documentation that shows it happened, so I presume it was. Her husband didn't fare so well after she died, so I can't imagine he would have hosted it without her. Thanks for the information. We'll put this away. Will holds up the record. Robert nods and heads for the doorway. Just before walking out, he turns back to Dad. I'll get those electricians back to make the repairs tomorrow. Perhaps keep the lights out in the kitchen until then, just to be safe. Faulty wiring is nothing to be messed with. Absolutely, I'll walk you out. Dad follows him out the door. When he turns back and mouths, we'll talk later. When they're finally far enough away that I can't hear their voices anymore, I slump against the wall and slide down to the ground. I can't believe it. What? The fact that I almost died at the hands of a ghost just now? Leo asks. I laugh despite the fear still pulsing through me. Even if I never have one good memory of Woodmore, the image of my brother flailing through that open door will always make me smile. Yeah, that and the summertime party thing. Will sits down next to me. What are you thinking? That it can't be a coincidence. Annette Dottinger was planning a big party that was supposed to happen this month. A party that was inspired by the song she'd been playing since I got here. Those things have to be connected, right? Totally, Leo agrees. But I guess I still don't really know what to do with that. Me either, says Will. He gently sets the record on the player and turns to face me. Definitely not a coincidence, though. Maybe there are no coincidences when it comes to hauntings. Maybe there are just two categories for stuff, clues and not clues. In the good old summertime, definitely seems like a clue. Robert's comments about the electricity suddenly pops in my head. Remember how we were trying to figure out how the kitchen is connected? Maybe it isn't. If there really is an electrical problem in there, then I guess the light bulbs bursting was just a red herring, I laughed to myself. A what? Leo prompts. Geez, Jen, start finishing your sentences, please. No, wait, let me, Will says with a cheeky grin. Then he starts talking again, using the most dramatic and ridiculous voice I've ever heard. I think he's trying to sound British. The kitchen light bulbs exploding were nothing but a red herring. Am I right, Miss Scarlet? I lift an eyebrow, impressed. How did you know Clue is my favorite board game? He laughs. It's a belly laugh, the kind that just echoes off the walls and makes everyone else smile. Just a hunch. Hello, Leo says, waving his hand between us. Could we get back to the exploding light bulbs? What do they have to do with fish? Fish? Will and I ask at the same time. Red herring? Leo repeats, his face pinched. Your words, not mine. Oh, sorry. A red herring is a fake clue, I explained, trying not to laugh. Of course, my brother would think a red herring is just a fish. Knowing his stomach, he was probably imagining it battered and fried. So the light bulbs breaking in the kitchen over and over again meant nothing, he continues. Nothing except they need a better electrician for this place, I answer with a snort. Will's phone makes a chirping sound. He slides it from his pocket and groans. My dad is 5 minutes away. I guess that means my time is up. So fast? I ask. Can't you stay just a little longer? We're so close. Will taps an imaginary watch on his wrist. I know, but he likes to stay on a schedule, remember? Plus, I forgot he booked a fishing guide for us this evening, and it's already 4:30. He's been looking forward to it for weeks, so I can't cancel. It would ruin his whole trip. But the storm, I start, abruptly stopping when I notice the sun is back out. The black clouds are rolling, and rolling thunder seem to have just vanished. Will looks from the window to me. It's gone. Weird. Pfft, weird doesn't begin to cover the things happening here at Woodmore. I'll walk you out. I walk out the door, then pause and look at Leo, who is still holding his shoulder. And I'll get you an ice pack. We're halfway down the main stairwell when Will stops walking. What's wrong? I ask, then realize I know the answer. Your books are still in Leo's room. I'll just run back up and get them. No, it's not that. You might need those, so keep them here. He glances back up the stairs, then back at me. I'm just worried. About what? You? He says quietly, refusing to meet my eyes. I'm speechless. I could be wrong, but it seems like Will is admitting he cares about me. I just feel bad leaving when it isn't totally fixed yet, he amends. It's okay. We are a lot closer to solving all this than we were this morning, thanks to you. My hands are shaking. Hopefully Will doesn't notice. Thanks to the books, not me. Still, I reach out for a fist bump or something, then immediately stop when I remember the awkward shoulder pat from before. I don't want to repeat that. This time, though, Will doesn't hesitate. He hugs me. Careful, Ginny, he says as he pulls away. You know that older couple we were talking about before? They're weird and all, but they said something one time that kind of stuck with me. Do I even want to know what that was? I ask. He shoots me an apologetic look. Probably not, but I'm going to tell you anyway. They said the more a spirit lost out on because of death, the more they have to be angry about. And Annette lost a lot. She did, I agree, my voice thick with sadness. Now that I know all this, I feel bad for her. I think about the pictures of her breaking ground on Woodmore, the dedication from her husband on the brick outside, and the dark, empty ballroom she once imagined would be filled with friends and family. I might have lost my writing workshop, but at least that's temporary. I can still go, just not this month. Annette Dottinger, though, she lost everything, permanently. I don't know if there's any way to fix that for her.